Hey, so this video is going to be a little bit controversial because I know you guys have a lot of different opinions on who do you think the best character in the game is. So if you want to tell me what your opinion is, just go ahead and tell me in the comments. But for now, let's just talk about who I think the best characters in this game are, and who are the worst characters as well. So it's going to be like top 10 style, or kind of like a tier list as well. And basically, this is going to be about their arm sets, their basic arm sets, and their abilities. And that's what I'm going to be basing it off of. So let's just go to number 10. Alright, at number 10 we have Bite and Bark. Their positives have the combinations of the Chaser and Cracker, which is a pretty decent arms combination, and the extra punch from Bark is pretty nice at times. It can be used as a shield, and Bark gets instantly revived whenever a Bite uses his super. But the negatives is that Bark gets knocked out for too long. 5 seconds in a match can be really crucial, especially if it's near the end of a match and in certain maps. Both of his abilities get disabled if Bark is down, and his movement options go super low. So basically, Bite relies a lot and too much on Bark, and he gets majorly punished for that reason itself. So that's why I put him at number 10. And at number 9 we have Springman. I put him at number 9 because, well, his positives: he's got fast arms, his shockwave ability is pretty good, and mostly because he's an all-around fighter with his arms and his abilities. But the negatives is what really kills him. Another one is because he's an all-around fighter. That's really it. Because he's fast, but he's pretty weak. He really has to fight to win. And yes, it's kind of sad saying this, but you know, since he's a balanced fighter, and I want to say it's kind of a balanced game, it's, you know, it's not really that well. His inimitable spirit is not great, but it's alright. But two-hit arms beat him really badly. Like, if I use a Tri-Blast against him, he's not going to be able to deflect it too easily because he's always just going to keep on getting hit. So that is my reason on putting Springman on number 9. And number 8 we got Helix, or I like to call him DNA Man because that's his Japanese name. So on to his positives. He can dodge really well with his little stretchy abilities and can punish pretty nicely. And he can slow down opponents with his Ice Dragon, which I honestly think is better than the regular dragon. And his negatives is that I think, in my opinion, he has the worst arm sets in this game, and that takes him down by a lot. And most of his arm sets are really slow, and that also takes him down by a lot. His only abilities is literally just him dodging, so how can he attack if he's really slow? That's just my opinion for DNA Man. So, on to the next one. So on to number 7, we got Master Mummy, which in my opinion he has like the best song in this game. I hate his stage, but I love the song. On to the positives though. He has some really godlike abilities, like the fact that he has no flinch and he has the damage reduction as well, and he can regain his health 10 HP at a time after each second. And he has the best throw in the game, as from what I know. Does 200, I think, yeah. And he has a pretty decent arms combination that I know about, and it's the Retorture and Phoenix. The Retorture and Phoenix, they cover a lot of space, and The Phoenix is just a really good arm in general. His negatives is that he's super slow, like the slowest in this game. Barely any movement options, and that can he can work around. So he can be jumped around. And at number 6 we have Kid Cobra, and I know you guys are going to be you're slamming on your keyboards and you're making angry comments. Well, the reason I put Kid Cobra at number 6 over the rest of the other 5 characters that I haven't shown yet is because, well, he's got positives though. Abilities are both pretty good. All arms are pretty good in different situations, and he has a really good arms combination, which is the Slapamander and the Vertiball. And the negatives is that because of his abilities, he can be read pretty easily if he's trying to use those said abilities, and that's really the only thing that's bringing him down. And the people that are ahead of him have lesser negatives that can affect their characters. So please don't eat me alive, but give me your opinion. Finally, we are down to the second half, and on number 5 we got Mechanica. So her positives are that her arms are really well. Like, all 3 arms that she has are pretty good. And for a heavyweight, she moves fairly fast. And her no flinching as well, with her metal body, is a big up too. Her negatives is that she can get hit easily even with fast movement because she has a pretty big body. And at number 4 we got my secondary, Min. So basically first she has the Yabuki combo. So her arms, the Ram and Megawatt, are a pretty good combination since it takes around a lot of space in general. And she has a spin kick as well to deflect arms, which is a really good ability to deflect certain arms, which are very annoying. And her left arm can turn into a dragon, which saves up your charge a lot more if you don't get hit, and that's also really good. And her negatives is that her dragon arm, like the actual arm itself, is kind of bad. So it's really her weakest thing, and losing one arm and around top tier level is kind of bad in my opinion. So let's go on to the next one. And we are at number 3, and it's Ninjara. This is actually my main, so I know a lot about this character. So his positives is his substitution, which he can jump around in the air and then dash, and then, he does that air dodge kind of thing. And his 3 arms are fit for most situations, which is pretty good in the top tier. And this is my personal actual combination I always use and get little W's from them. And that is the Chakram and Tri-Blast. Chakram really helps with hitting around and everywhere, and Tri-Blast gets the double hit in at most times, and it's pretty good combination. His negatives is that he can barely card supers because of his ability, and that is him substituting while guarding, because sometimes he can get caught in it. So, and that's really it. This character's really good, man. Stop complaining about his grab. And now we are on the final 2. So, I actually just got off Nintendo UK's page and saw Twintel, and the comment sections were all just talking about Bayonetta, which is... Look, that's besides the point. let's talk about how good this character is. So, first of all, her first positive is that she can slow down time with her Starstruck ability, and she has an armed combination that really is just based off you getting slowed down. Like, she has the Thunderbird to paralyze your arms, and she has the Chillas to ice you down. And whenever his time is slowed down, she punishes you really well. She could get a free super off of it, too. Her only negative is that she doesn't have a second ability. She has literally no second ability. But I'm glad she does it, because she would have been utterly broken and probably number 1. And you guys probably guessed of who number 1 is. So let's just talk about her. I honestly hope nobody argues with me with this, because this girl is actually the best character in this game. She might not be best girl, for me at least, but she is really good. She can jump 4 times, then dash, and she can fast fall. She has the best arm set in the game, which even people on ranked match use the same arm set that she has for other characters. It's just really dumb. She can run away from any fight because of her multiple jumps and her dash and her fast fall. She has all the movement abilities, all the kinds of... It's just so hard to hit her. And her negatives, honestly, I couldn't find any. There was barely any negatives that I could find for this girl. Like, multi-hit abilities and her getting cornered, I guess. I mean, that's for any character. I don't know how to beat this character. This is a weird character. I usually just time her out. Sorry. And so finally, we have reached the end. That editing process was pretty long. This is honestly my, most edited video that I've done, and it took me a little 2 days because I'm pretty bad at editing. Again, this is just my opinion, so please, if you disagree with it, go ahead. I want to leave a comment. I actually want to hear what you guys have to say. And I don't really know what else to say. I'm tired. I'm gonna upload this, and right now it's 10:34, June 23rd, Eastern time. Hey man, I'm just happy I finished, and I'm glad that I got my point across. So, good night.